Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Let me share my screen here. 1 second. Okay, do we all see that? You can just shake your head. Thank you very much. So, let me move you off my screen. My name is Virginia Weiskopf with Weiskopf Consulting, all things technical and social. I've been doing presentations and education for a good 15 plus years. I've been working with SCORE probably for over 12. Um, they're a great organization and they get information to you when you need it. So for today's presentation, we're talking about AI and marketing. AI is in everything. And I think that every small business owner needs to understand that it's changing everything. There's not a platform that's not working AI into it. And you need to understand what's best for you, how it works for you, and how it can change what you're doing. Now, if you have a question at any time, please put it in the chat. I would rather answer questions as I go along. I will also pause at the end for questions because if we're talking about a topic, it's better to ask and answer it then. Is everyone ready? So, why are we here today? Well, where do I start with AI? What do I do? What does it mean? You use AI to create a plan and assets for marketing. Some of the top AI programs that I use are ChatGPT, Canva, Napkin, HeyGen, and Constant Contact. And there's paperclip programs. So when you're working in advertising, you want to make your clients aware, you want to engage them, and then you want to convert them. I'm going to show you something that I made. The digital landscape changes daily. AI is now being added to almost every platform in some form or another, and they are not all the same. How can you find and leverage these new technologies to work smarter, not harder? You might be surprised that this video is actually an AI-generated avatar from a program called HeyGen. More about it later. This is not a deep fake. I am not trying to fool anyone, but a tool to use to communicate with your audience. So I find the HeyGen platform great. I've used it to insert myself on a bunch of PowerPoint marketing things, and it's very cool. So what is AI in marketing? It's automation, it's efficiency, and it's productivity. We want to automate sending emails based on customer behavior. We want to automate posting on social media with timing suggestions from AI. Now, using chatbots or conversational agents are great, but you need to program them so your clients are happy. None of us like to be stuck in a chatbot that's a loop. Okay, so only use them when it's appropriate to do so. Efficiency. So it's instantly segmenting audiences based on behavior, demographics, and engagement. What that does is it helps you hit them for what they want. You can also optimize ad spend through AI managed bidding strategies. I'm saying there's a caution here, and I'll talk about that later. And productivity. You want to create high converting ad copy or subject lines using generated AI tools and analyze your campaign faster. I will put an asterisk this anytime you're using an AI agent in any of the platforms, you want to do personal checking because it gives you generic stuff and it gives you specific stuff, but you still need to own what it writes. So let's talk about an AI-powered digital strategy. Prediction, optimization, and segmentation. We need to predict what our customers are going to do. We need to optimize for what they're doing, and then we need to segment this audience on how they respond to what you've done. So when we start doing that, first we have to collect customer data. And you all have customer data in different places. It's using it, what you have, and then identifying behavioral patterns. Once you do that, you build customer personas. Everyone hates to build customer personas because it's a tedious thing. But then you match those personas to the content and campaigns so that you're getting bang for your buck. You're not selling a a cat to a dog person. You got to analyze the data you collect from your campaigns, and you need to update your campaign and repeat it. So let's talk about ways to collect customer data. If you have a website, you should have Google Analytics and heat map that tells you what they're looking at and where they're going and tracking that. If you're a retail store, you may have a POS system that captures things that you can get data from. If you're doing email marketing, anytime it's opened, clicked, or looked at, that platform should give you who does it and you can re-engage them. When you do social media interactions and reviews, you need to capture that information. Obviously, surveys, polls, and customer interviews always collect data. So once that data is collected and how you collect it, you have to identify behavioral patterns: buying frequency, engagement level, product interest, and decision triggers. Each of these things you have to plan for, so you're not just throwing everything at the wall, because it's one of my favorite quotes: if you aim at nothing, you will hit every time. Some of the younger audience may not know who Zig Ziglar was. He was a big motivational speaker. But this really resonates in terms of, yes, if I do a post, or yes, if I send an email to everyone, that's great, but it's not. You need to be specific. And that brings us back to building our customer personas, which no one wants to do. It's a huge piece of work, but it's worth it, because all of us have more than one type of customer. We're going to go back to the pet store, because I'm going to use it through this as an example. You have different customers. You have the dog lover, you have the cat lover, you have the person who has birds. I mean, you have very specific buckets or personas that you want to collect. You want to do their name and their title. You need to know what their age group is, if you can capture that in some ways. How much do dog owners versus cat owners versus bird owners spend? Okay. And what are their goals? And what are their pain points? And what motivates them? Not always, we all love free shipping, but that's, but it's not always a discount. Maybe it's the customer service. Maybe it's how they feel when they interact with you. Buying motivations are different. It's not always the discount. What are the preferred channels of your clients? Where are you meeting them? And what do they typically object to? So this is an outline of how to create your persona for your client. And it's really important to have at least 2 or 3, because we all do. So let's work through an example, a big example. So during this, please feel free to ask questions. So our personas, and I'm just put buckets in, I didn't do all the tiny detail work. We have dog lovers, cat lovers, and bird lovers. We're talking about a pet store. Our campaign journeys are awareness, engagement and consideration, and then conversion, because you can't go right to conversion. People need to be made aware of who you are and what your business is. You need to engage them about how your business is good, why they should consider it, and that's 1 or 2 interactions with them. And then once they're aware and they're engaged, that's when you go for the conversion piece. Okay. So the components we would use would be email, social media, blog posts, landing page. A blog post and a landing page are kind of the same thing, and pay-per-click ads. So we want to create an email automation that tailors a journey for that particular persona. Okay. We want to recommend a product that that persona would want. We need to message, and we need to create segmented pay-per-click audiences. If you are dog lovers, older adults who you need 55 and older who want a companion, are dog lovers, and they could be both, are parents with kids who have dogs. Who's the cat lover? Is it an apartment dweller? What do they need for their cat? So you need to be aware of who your client is, and that's who you're marketing to, because you can't market in a vacuum. So, can people raise their hands in this meeting?
Yes, I can.
My question is, how many of you have used ChatGPT? I don't know if I can see how many people are raising their hand or not with my
Quite a
screen.
few. Virginia, we've got 7 or 8 right now. Yes,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
seems like
so
quite a.
you've played with it, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make our life easier. Oh my God, I have to do a campaign. So let's prompt ChatGPT, create an email and social campaign for dog lovers to be aware of our business. We're working on awareness now and who our business is. So you dropped it in the ChatGPT, and this is what came back, okay? An email campaign, right? And it gave you the audience, it gave you the subject lines, you have some choices, it gave you the content, and you can change these. I mean, this is a place to start. There's nothing worse than a blank piece of paper, but now you have a start, right? Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Uh-oh. Okay, so when I do an email, I usually give them one call to answer, or yeah, one CTA. Explore our dog-friendly services would be it, or maybe it's download a paper on dog-friendly services. I don't know if I would go right to get the 10% off on the first email because we're introducing ourselves. We're making them aware of who we are. Okay. So we have our first one. So I said create a social and email campaign for dog lovers to be aware of their business. So it did the email. It only gave us one email. And then it gave us a 7 days of social campaigns. So, what you can do for each one. Now, this is just a beginning outline. This isn't okay, I can just do this. There is more to it than that. Introduction post, testimonial Tuesday. You know, you can have people that say how happy their dog is or what they're doing. It could be freebie Wednesday. You know, you could do something like that. Behind the scenes reel, you know, people love their pets, asking them to upload something fun with their pet, or if they bought a frisbee or them using something they bought. Um, and then another one. So it's given you 7 different posts. You don't have to think about it. So ChatGPT gave me an outline, right? So I have a starting place. I would copy everything and put it on a Word document to work on. So you also have another option, and I'm going to ask how many of you use an email platform? Is my first question for raise of hands. I'll just wait for a sec. I don't see, oh, some do.
There's so far you've got about 3, Virginia.
Okay. Out, that's not a lot. So anyway, what
No,
we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this. I have worked with Constant Contact for years. I work with on other email platforms, but they have really in the last few real years really upped their game with this AI. Let me start this and let you watch it. Tell me if you can hear.
Do you have a specific marketing goal you're trying to reach, but you're not sure how to get there? Spend less time figuring out your marketing and let Campaign Builder do it for you. In this video tutorial, we'll show you how it all works. To get started, click Create and then choose Build a Campaign. From there, simply follow the prompts and enter the details of your marketing goal, and we'll automatically generate a campaign with draft campaign activities for you. From emails to social posts and SMS to events, Campaign Builder provides you with a fully customized multi-channel marketing campaign. All you need to do is personalize each of the generated campaign types with your colors, links, images, and any other information you want to share and schedule. Once your campaign activities are active and your audience starts engaging, you can see all of that information on the multi-channel tab. Just click any of the hyperlinked numbers to drill down into the specifics. Take the guesswork out of marketing and reaching your goals with Campaign Builder from Constant Contact.
So I did the video because it was easier than me going through all the steps in multiple slides. So You can tell it how many emails you want. You can tell it how many posts you want when you do a multi-level campaign. And here's one I created here for an email promo. But you have to open and edit each one. But it's, again, it's not starting with a blank piece of paper. We want to create a landing page to send people to. If it's not your website, you want them to make an action, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to do that at the end. Make sure your calls to actions are captured and segmented. So if you put more than one call to action in an email, like the first one we looked at said, to get a download or to join, get 10% off. So you would create 2 new lists. So each person who clicked on those goes on a new list. So now you have segmented what people want. All right. You can add more content to the calendar, and I'm going to show you how it puts this right on the posting calendar. And you can add extra posts, and you can put notes on the calendar for items not scheduled through Constant Contact. It's a great way to start. It's using AI, and you can move from there. So
Excuse me,
go
we
ahead.
do have a question in the chat, from Brandon. Do you have to seed Constant Contact with email addresses?
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
Do you have to seed Constant Contact with email addresses?
Is the word C?
Seed.
Feed.
Brandon,
Yeah, do
Yes.
that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, it's not. Thank you.
or feed, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
fine. I just wanted to make sure I understood. No, so you have to have an email list, right? You have to start somewhere. So the deal is you need to grow your list, and you have to decide how you're going to grow your list. For example, if you're in a brick and mortar, restaurants you'll get a free appetizer if you sign up for their email marketing. If you're in a store, you get a discount for signing up for it. If you have a website, you should have some type of pop-up form, and I've always hated them, but they work, to pop up to gather those emails so you can start growing your list and segmenting it. I would never ever tell you to buy a list, because the second you buy a list, that list is dated completely. There are places you could go on LinkedIn to mine email list. And I worked with someone, I gave a presentation at one of my networking groups on social media AI platforms. And as I was demoing ChatGPT and the different things you could say, this one younger gentleman said that he takes ChatGPT, gives the demographics, asks for the LinkedIn profiles for CEOs, and asks for their phone number and email address. Now, if you do that, ChatGPT will come back and say they're not allowed to do that. But he found a workaround so that now he can get ChatGPT to go out and give him all this information and create an email list. Like, okay, that's fascinating. So you have to figure out ways to grow your list and to start. I grow my list by giving presentations. I grow my list for participating in events. So that's how I grow my list. During the pandemic, when I quit doing in-person events, when everything changed in our lives, I did Free Friday trainings every Friday for 2 years. And I grew my email list over those 2 years because people would promote them for me and they would come. So yes, I hope that answers your question. That was kind of long-winded.
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much. And
You're
I was
more
just
than,
also wondering,
go ahead.
can you use one of the generative AIs to locate client-rich audiences?
Client what?
Client-rich audiences.
So you can, and it depends what they're going to give you back and what you're looking for. Like I said, ChatGPT will come back and tell you that it won't give you LinkedIn email addresses because that's not what it's made for, but I found that there is a workaround. You need to ask the questions on the different platforms to see what you're going to get back. And looking for audiences is always interesting. Now on all the marketing platforms like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, you can create an audience by all kinds of things, but you don't get to know who they are. Once you create that audience, it will push it out to them, but then you have to figure out how to collect their information.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Just what is the sandbox that they hang out in? Is what I'm
Correct.
getting
Well,
at.
once you create your personas, you should have an idea of the age group and where they're going to be.
Like,
Okay, so once Constant Contact creates that multi-channel campaign, it drops it on your calendar. And you can look at it by a specific campaign. You can look at it by status. All of these are in draft mode right now. So you've corrected them. They're here. Once you schedule them, they'll say scheduled. But at this point, you can also add to this calendar. So let's say that you want to add an email or a blog post or announcement of a blog post, something, you can add it right here and schedule it to go out. So from their campaign calendar, you can connect all of your platforms and push out from there. So you don't necessarily need a Hootsuite or a Sendable or anything else. You're paying for one platform and it's doing everything you need to do.
Virginia, there's a question from Karen. Does Constant Contact have real people in customer service via phone, or do they just have bots?
Yes, they do. They have real people that answer the phone, that have an English, that talk just like me. So yes, they're always there to help. I, as a partner, have a different phone number because I'm a partner with them. And because I have lots of clients that I do work for, so they're very helpful and I never have a problem. I do, sadly enough for them though, it's usually, I have a very tough question when I call. And sometimes it takes a while to resolve because I can do the easy stuff. So. So here we're going to ask ChatGPT, and just keep in mind, you can use Gemini, you can use Copilot, you can use any of the platforms. I like ChatGPT. I pay $20 a month for it, so I get more interaction with it because it limits you on what you do, and I use it for a million things. So I ask it as part of my campaign to create a blog post based on the email copy, and I drop the copy in. So it created here a blog post. And it's basic. Now you're going to have to put a call. Here's the call to action over here and make it what you want it to be. Here is a testimonial, and here's, join, sign up. But you're going to have to do graphics, and you're going to have to make it a little prettier than just text, which brings us to our next AI piece, which is Canva. And I'm going to ask another question with a raise of hands. How many of you use Canva? I see hands popping up quickly. Is there quite a few? Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like we have a pretty good number of people that are familiar with it, Virginia.
it is a small business, marketing art department. Excuse me, again, my hiccups. You can do the free version. I would encourage small business owners, if they can afford it, to do the pro version. You get to, there's so many more bells and whistles in it. You get to create your brand kit. You get to create new things with AI. It's just fabulous. So what I went in and asked it to, and I pasted it in here, to give me a picture. And these are the pictures it gave me to create an image, which I thought was great. And if I don't like them, I can then redefine what it is. But now I have pictures to put for my social posts. I have pictures to put for my blog post. And in this, you may want to tell it to include your logo or something else special that it's incorporated into this. Or once you make this in Canva, you can just put your logo in the corner and change your text, right? Or maybe you don't want them to put the text on it. You just want the picture, and you tell it, please give me the images without text. So then I put in some of the other text that was copied, and it gave me these. Now, this was not my vision of the image that I wanted. It's very juvenile. It's very cartoony. So then I told it that I wanted it more lifelike, and it gave me more pictures. So you can choose and update. Because one of the things I tried to do with my HeyGen profile today, and I was unsuccessful, was to take one of these dogs and get him to talk. I didn't have the time to spend a lot of time on it. I created it and it said it was up for review. I'm not sure what that means. I've never had anything up for review. Maybe it didn't like the dog picture. I'm not sure. But I want content and graphics for all the things I'm doing, for the Facebook posts, for the Instagram posts. If I'm going to do an Instagram reel, whatever I'm going to do, I need to be able to create content to do that.
Virginia, a
Yep.
quick question from Val. Can Canva create a website?
Ooh, I don't think, that's a question. I don't think so. I think you're gonna, it will create, the graphics, but it won't create the website. Though a lot of the platforms now, Wix, Bluehost, what are the other ones? Shopify, all of them have a new AI integration with them, which is, again, it's a starting point. Because what AI thinks is okay and what is really best practices for a website and best practices for the back end need to be addressed. I'm not saying it's not, just like using ChatGPT for a starting point, using one of them for a starting point is fine, and then you have to update, okay? You can't just take what they give you, because a website is more than the front end, it's also the back end in terms of SEO, and now we have AEO, which is answer engine optimization, because of all the ChatGPTs and stuff that are scraping your site for content. You need to make sure your content is arranged so that they pull the answers from it. So yeah, there are places that do it. You just need to be careful.
Okay. We have a couple more questions
Yep.
on Canva. Another one from Keela. Can you get Canva to generate images in the free version?
So maybe, but I don't have the free version anymore. So I would think they may limit you. Let me ask.
Okay. There is one more question on Canva from Stavros. It says, can Canva render your physical product into an image? And how much is the pro service?
Pro service is like $15.99 a month, $15.99. It may have gone up. If you pay it for the whole year, it's less than whatever. But even if it's $20 a month, it's so worth it for you, because you get to create your brand kit, you get to put your colors in and your text in. So if someone is working with you, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. You get to put your logos in. So you could say, ask it to generate an image using your logo and this criteria, and get it to bring something up for you.
Okay.
Hang on. Talking and typing is together. It doesn't specify in what came up, but so I would go sign up for the free version and see what you get. If you're concerned about that money, because everyone has to start somewhere. So Canva is really photos and graphics. The other place that's great to create infographics, it's called napkin.ai. And you take your text, like I took the text that was on the left, and I dropped it into a new napkin. And then it gives me, you can see it gives a whole, it thinks for a little while and thinks for a while. Then it gives you a whole bunch of different infographics that you can choose to put in your Facebook, you can put in your blog post, whatever you want, and you can change the colors too. You can tell it that these aren't my brand colors, this is what I want. But it's a great tool for doing this. You could even, the whole blog post that we did earlier through ChatGPT, once you've taken it out and put it into a Word document and then updated all of your text, if you would drop it into Napkin AI And Napkin AI, I use the free version because I don't. So this will give it to you in the free version. Drop the whole text in there, and if you hover over each paragraph, it will show you what the graphics it can make for you, and then you can download them. It's a really cool tool.
Virginia, we have one more question in the chat, and this is from Keela. You may want to unmute yourself if I don't read this correctly, but any idea which AI does the best with WCAG required web accessibility?
I do not. That would be something I would have to look up. I can't answer that.
Okay.
So if your platform is one that requires that, a lot of nonprofits have to have that and different things. Depends who your client is. You need to do the research for that. Or get someone to help you with that. Not every website has to have it, even though they say that. It depends on who's coming to your site. So now once you've got your plan done, your email, your social posts, your blog posts, and all that stuff put together, right? You've used all these different platforms to do it. Now you have to think about pay-per-click strategy. And don't freak out, because you can do it with $50 or $100 a month and see what happens. We do not ask people to put a lot of money down. We want to test it and see where we're doing. But the fact is, if we go back to the email listing, it's social media is where you find people and connect with them to capture that email address so you can have that one-on-one discussion with them via email. I mean, granted, when we created our ad plan in the beginning, I have a big list to send to, and I have it segmented out, so I know who I'm sending it to. If you're starting at 0, then you really need to push for a social campaign with awareness and lead generation. So you're doing something that's getting them to say, okay, this is interesting. I'll give you my email address, and then you can capture it. So here are the targeted keywords for my dog lovers. The ad copy. Now, it's always easy for the AI stuff to give you a coupon. I'm not a big believer in coupons unless that's a model that works for your business. I believe in value for what you're doing, and you need to communicate that to them. And what you're offering them can be different than a discount on something they purchase. So we can offer them, maybe it's really hot outside in the summer, and what are the 5 top things you can do for your dog to keep them cool in the summer? List the products, but they can download that PDF you've created, but in order to download it, they have to give you their email address. Also, once they download it, your company is now in their home. Your name, your address, their information. So we need to make sure what we're doing. And I mean, because all of us hate the fact that new customers, oops, I'm sorry, let me go back. I should have my hand on my mouse when I'm talking. It's like the phone companies. If you're a new customer, you can have this, but if you've been with us for 10 years, screw you, this is what you got. So I would be careful for that, because it can be offensive for those of us who are already one of your customers. With Google, you can choose a budget friendly. You can do 50, you can do 100. That's it, to see where you're doing. And when you create your Google campaign, you can create like 3 or 4 different ads, and they'll switch them in and out. And the one that gets hit on the most, that's the one they'll run the most. So Google helps you in that control. Content. I would never tell anyone to let Google control the bidding algorithm, because the algorithm is always in their favor, and they want to get people to do more, and that's not how we want to look at it. We want to make sure we have a good call to action, and the metrics are set up to record and segment clicks. So if they're clicking on it, you need to make sure you have a UTM code so that you now know how many people clicked on it. Now, Google's not going to tell you who they were, but you can also retarget those people because if they did it once, they're interested in some way. I'm going to stop here and ask about pay-per-click strategies, if anyone.
Anyone wants to unmute themselves, please feel free at this time and ask Virginia a question.
And then we'll move on to Meta and pay-per-click ads. Awareness and lead generation is where we start. The second campaign, after you might do this for 2 months, you might do the engagement piece for those people you're re-engaging. Again, you can do a budget-friendly amount. You just have to make sure that you have a good call to action and that you've segmented what's coming back to you. So the ad types are the carousel showing different services, a video clip, even a reel that people can watch. We want to collect email address in exchange for either a discount or a download, right? It's an exchange. We all know that. Who are we targeting? And when you do a Meta ad or a Google ad, you can set up the demographics, the area, the age groups, all of these different things. So it's going to people who are dog lovers, not people who are cat lovers. Okay. So we need to be sure about what we're doing when we're doing these. So when you're doing pay-per-click advertising, here, and I mentioned it again, automatic bidding, good for Google, bad for advertisers. Copy up, let AI generate variations in copy. So you have those multiple different ads to see what hits with our audience. And then once you have an audience, so you can take in Facebook, you can take all of your email addresses and upload them. It will take all those email addresses and go out and find them. Now, if you upload 200 email addresses, you only maybe get 100 because a lot of them are business addresses and things like that. But then they will take those 100 addresses they made and then make a demographic that looks like it for you to advertise to. So it's people you don't know, but it's people who are similar to those you already have. So when they want a budget and allocation, they want to do 60% on Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. They want to do 30% in Google and 10% retargeting. Now, a lot of you are thinking, yeah, Facebook is all ads now. Yes, it is. But the problem is that Facebook is still the biggest platform in the world. So it has to be utilized, right? So when you split this budget, Facebook and Instagram are great for awareness and engagement because you're reaching people who may not know you, who have a liking for dogs, who things like that. Now, Google search ads are different because now I am actively searching maybe for a place to get my dog groomed. So I'm already interested in your service. I just need to find the one that's closest to me. So understand the difference between a Google search ad and a Facebook ad. You're going to meet people you don't know in the Facebook ad, and it's a broad, I'm not looking for anything right now, but you're targeting me. Google ads, me as a client am basically searching for that product and service, and now they're going to send it to you. Okay. Retargeting means these people, both Facebook and Meta and Instagram and Google, all keep track of the IP addresses for coming in. We don't get to know, but you can retarget those people who were engaged and looking at it or clicking on it or whatever through the platform. Okay. You can do A/B testing. So here's an A/B testing, book now versus get 10% off. You could do Facebook ads like that. Were people more interested in booking now or getting 10% off? Same with an email that you send out in the call to action, book now or get Kenford sent off right away. You need to test to see what resonates with your clientele, prospective clientele. I lost my mouse. Here it is. So
Would
we're
you-
going to go over the split rationale once again.
Um,
Highly
for-
visual engagement, precise targeting, brand awareness and lead generation, great for storytelling, which is carousels, videos, reels. Reels are very big right now. And you're interacting with them. Google, on the other hand, someone is actually searching for dog grooming near me, so you have a higher conversion potential. And you can target keywords when you're creating your ad. So Meta will also, and Google, will recapture interested users so that you can retarget them. And you should never forget to retarget, even if it's, 5% of who clicked on it. Those people were interested, so you need to touch them. It takes 7 touches to make a conversion. And we're only on awareness at this point. Then we have to move to engagement. And you can adjust based on results, right? Am I getting more awareness? Am I getting intent? Am I getting retargeting? What is my cost per lead? What is my click-through rate? And am I getting an acquisition? So those are all very important. So do we have any advertising platform questions at this point?
2 questions in the chat, Virginia, and I think I'll use this as a question. Brandon is saying, isn't IP addressing a cybersecurity risk?
We're not doing it. It is the platforms that know who clicked on it and know who reacted to it. We're not doing anything with the IP address.
Okay.
If we're retargeting, we're going back in and say, those people who are interested, I would like to send a new message to or a new ad to. They never divulge who that is. So that's on the back end. That has nothing to do with us.
Okay. One more question in the chat, Virginia. Karen asks, how big does your audience have to be to do A/B testing?
It's a good question. So if you're going through on the platform for Constant Contact and you click A/B testing, it will tell you what percentage it's sending to each. Yeah, I would say you at least have to have 200 to 500 email addresses to be realistic, to get a good sample there. So we're going to do a bunch of question and answer at this point. Creating automation takes time. Once it is set up, it will work for you. So use AI to help you to do that. You need to test the platforms and find which ones work for your business. Some will, some won't. Some will be frustrating for you. You have to make a plan, create the assets and the data collection method so that you know what you're doing, and ask questions more than once if you don't get the results you're looking for. With AI, it's very literal. When I was making the little video that you saw in the beginning, the AI generated one from HeyGen, I had to spell my last name Weiskopf phonetically in order for it to speak it correctly. Otherwise, it was not. So I have reach over here. You see this? A 3-page handout on all different types of AI programs you can use. I have a spreadsheet of the main research tools and what they do best. If you would like that, take a picture of the QR code on the right under AI Platform Guide. It's going to send you to a landing page where you put in your name and email address, and it automatically emails you this PDF. So that is a way of collecting email addresses, right? want to give it to you, happy to give it to you, but now I'm collecting email addresses. So you have to think of creative ways to do that. Now, if you're not on Constant Contact and you'd like to be and use it for your marketing pieces, feel free to click on the one on the, so this is my right, this is my left. So under the Constant Contact one, it will take you to a sign up page and you can sign up and I will then give you direct free support for signing up under my partner console. Not a whole bunch of, but enough to get you started and understand what's going on. I'm going to leave these up while you think about that. And the HeyGen platform is really great. You can use it for a million things. It's AI generated. You saw it in the beginning. You can upload a PowerPoint presentation, put in your avatar that you've made, and then you get to create the script by typing it in for each slide. And it's great. And you have a video then to use. It's wonderful. I can put them up on the web and use them. Now, if you like PowerPoints and you find PowerPoint old and antiquated, which it is, there's a place called Gemma.ai. Is it .ai or .com? Let me check right here for you. It's Gamma, GAMMA.app. And if you upload an outline, it will, and a template, it will automatically completely create the PowerPoint for you. Again, it's not going to be exactly what you had planned, but you've started. You can download that PowerPoint, open it up locally, add slides, edit slides. It's a wonderful AI program to do that because all you have to do is give it an outline. Another AI tool for you in marketing is called Brandalizer, which is on this list. And what it does is if you type in your website, it will go out there and give you all kinds of information about what it sees from the back end. This goes back to when you ask if Canva will create a website for you. And I said, I think Wix will do it. I can't think what the other one is. I'm a WordPress girl because I have more control, front end and back end. But it will go out and look at your website, tell you what your keywords are, and then it will tell you what your competition is and what your competition's keywords is. It's a great AI tool to use because now you know what you're up against. So, what do we have for questions?
There's a question in the chat, Virginia, from Khalid. And Khalid, if you want to unmute yourself, you can go, but I'll read it. It's, have you ever used Poe.com, Poe.com? And he states that it has many models underneath it, including images generation bots. If so, what is your thoughts about it?
I have not used it. I apologize. There are so many. Every time I do a presentation, especially the one that's the demo, I have to go out and update it because they change almost daily. New ones crop up almost daily. And I think I have heard about, is it Poe.com? Is that what it is? Yeah. And if that one works for you, I think it's great. I think that, I don't know what the cost is. If it has the pieces that you need to make your business work, that's where I would be. I am not advocating for any of them because by next month, we can have 20 more pop up. It depends if they have thought clearly about what's best for you and an ease of use. Because there's some on the list that if you download that list that I looked at that were very complicated. And I felt that for my clientele, it would just be frustrating for them. So I really try to promote the ones that I found ease of use and I felt my clients could find ease of use too.
Okay. Another question popped up in the chat from Michael. What is the name of the AI tool to analyze your website?
Here, let me see, can I get to the chat at this point? Yes, I can. Let me type it in here for you. If I spell it correctly, give me a minute here. Oh. It's called brandalizer.com. Let's see if that's right. Yes, it's brandalizer.com. And it gives you a brand summary, it gives you brand SEO, it gives you your history, keywords. You can look at competitors. It's a very, very cool tool. In fact, I was demoing it I was only signed up for the free version. I was demoing it at an event, and it came up and said, okay, you used all your credits. So I had to quit. So I'm doing multiple ones. I'm sure that you can do yours, and you can still use the free piece. So I'm going to take this down, and I'll bring up a couple of the. Is everyone taking their picture if they wanted to? Because I'm going to end my slideshow. So here it is. Okay. I need to sign in. So then it starts filling in information. It tells you what the information needs if you roll over it. It tells you the brand SEO and all the information, the brand history. It's a very interesting tool to use. Tells you the brand competitors. I wonder what they are. And sometimes it doesn't do a good job here, because I'm not sure if any of these are your competitors, if you actually have a competitor.
That's a great question.
It is. So then you go to keywords and it shows you this, but I did, and it has a keyword hunter to help you find them. So this is a very cool tool. So, let's see. Here's Napkin AI. Just click new napkins. Say blank napkin. And then you would copy your text into it. Let's see if I have something over here that I can copy in there for you. Bear with me. Looking for that blog post that here we go. So we paste it in, and then it gives this little thing, and you click it. And it gives you different options. Just as easy as that. So that's Napkin AI. So I asked it to give me a PowerPoint in AI and marketing, and it gave me was something so top level that I didn't think it was worth using. But I just put in an outline, and then it created a PowerPoint presentation, and I could download it and then do whatever I wanted to with it. So whatever outline you have, it will do it for you. It's very cool. So that's what I have today. Does anyone have any other conversation or questions that they would like to do? There was a lot of information and I love conversations. So any of
Virginia,
you, go
there's
ahead.
a couple of questions in the chat, and I'll read two of them right here from Mimi. Virginia, can Constant Contact connect to a website to capture leads whose information is inputted into the Constant Contact system?
Correct. So you can create a pop-up box that you put on your website that pops up, and you need to offer them something. You know, don't put sign up for my email, my newsletter. No one wants a newsletter. But if you offer them something that is of value, your knowledge, some type of a paper that, like I'm offering you the worksheet, right? This for them to download, then they put in their information, and what happens is immediately they're put on a list, and that list can have an automated email that sends that right out. Now you've captured their email address, you've put them on a list, and it's done automatically for you.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Karen in the chat. Can you please tell us the workaround to get the LinkedIn list of contacts in name, email, phone if you are not first degree friends?
So I don't think that I should share that because this is someone told me this. It's not my information. Do some research. I'm sure it's posted somewhere on the web. I apologize, but I just don't feel comfortable doing that.
Fair enough. Are there any other questions for Virginia? If you want to unmute yourself at this time, please feel free to ask Virginia in the next few moments.
Hi, Virginia. Can you hear me?
I can.
My name's Stavros. I just have a quick question for you. Thank you for this, by the way. It's a great tutorial. In Canva, I created this new product and I'm having a hard time getting content of the product in different environments. Can Canva render an actual product if I upload the product in? Can it create images with the product in it? Do you know at all?
So I would test that because I don't have, I've never done that. Now I know that, yeah, I would test Canva and then I would ask ChatGPT which platform does it best. If there's one that's easier, if you've tried in Canva and it's not, excuse me, it's not working.
I have not tried it yet. I just came to my mind when you were showing me Canva, which I have not used yet. So I appreciate that.
Canva also has in the pro version, and maybe in the free version, forgive me, there's a button on the side that says AI programs. When you click on it, Canva has a whole bunch of programs that integrate with it to use. So there might be something there also.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Virginia?
So I hope it what you got was informative. I hope that AI isn't overwhelming for you. It's very important that you test it, you understand it, because the fact of the matter is that AI is in everything. And that your business is better off using AI to accomplish your goals. Having said that, AI can also be dangerous, and you need to be careful and not just trust AI blatantly, right? If all of you have Googled something and you get the new Gemini summary at the top, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So you need to be careful about what you believe and do your due diligence, especially if you're using that information to promote your business.
Great. Well, thank you, Virginia, for sharing your
More
time
than
and
welcome.
expertise with us tonight. And I hope everyone found this workshop helpful. Thanks to everyone for participating in our SCORE event this evening. And as I mentioned earlier in the chat, if you'd like to receive a link to the recording of this workshop, please send me an email at david.lacosse@scorevolunteer.org. And again, we appreciate Virginia, and it was a great workshop. And thank you again for everyone attending, and have a good evening.
If anyone has any questions, they can just send me an email and reach out to me.
Right.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.